If you're into cars and you use social media, you've probably seen a few low quality text-to-speech videos from this account circulating. This is Alcant-ERA.
Okay, place the piece you cut on your dash and press down nicely. Next, cut out your beautiful 335 IAS badge. So beautiful. Then, cut around all the air vents so you can feel your air. I could do this all day, but sadly it only took me 10 minutes. That was fun and looks so much better.
I think this is a very deliberate strategy. These videos of a really poorly applied suede wrap gather a lot of "this looks terrible" comments, which help circulate the video more and are possibly the reason why I found out about it in the first place. But when you just look at the product itself, you can see the potential it holds for transforming a car if it's done right. I've tried retrimming the interior panels of my E39 multiple times. Some worked out pretty well, like the door inlays which I wrapped in black dress fabric for $1. But something I've struggled with is the pillar trim. I've tried to do these twice with 2 different adhesives, but both times after a couple of weeks it just went wrinklier than a weasel's
That's where I think this product might actually come in handy for me. I tried finding a self-adhesive suede wrap for this car about 18 months ago when I was retrimming the interior originally, but I couldn't find anything, and so I was pretty keen to try this one now that I've seen these videos floating around for a couple of months. I bought the biggest sheet of material they sell, and we're hopefully going to answer the question, is Alcantara any good? Or is it just as rubbish as all their videos make it look?
First impressions weren't the best. My order came folded up in a plastic mailer, which obviously leaves a bunch of creases in the material from where it's been folded. Shipping was free, but I'd rather just pay an extra $5 for it to come rolled up properly in a cardboard tube instead of this crap little plastic bag. Another thing that hit me when opening this package was the smell. This material brought an extremely strong odor of chemicals and adhesive, so much so that I could smell it walking past the room I left it in with the door closed. I let it lay out for about 2 days before applying it to try and fight some of the creases and to let it air out. But if you did wrap your interior as soon as you got your order, you genuinely wouldn't be able to drive the car for a couple days. Based on the shipping time, the lack of package quality, and some of the text on the label and the back of the wrap itself, I think it's pretty clear this is just a dropship product. Considering I paid over 100 Australian dollars for this sheet of material, I think the price is a little steep for what you get and how it's delivered. It is cheaper than going to a reupholsterer, and it's easier than applying other materials with a contact adhesive the old-fashioned way, but I think their pricing is heavily based on the convenience factor and not a lot else.
Anyway, I'm hoping it's up from here. So I've got my first bit of trim removed, you just saw on camera. Before I do anything, obviously, got to get rid of this. There you go. Now, if this was a wood trim or plastic, like it would be on most applications of this, you would clean this off with alcohol, obviously, get it all nice, clean and dry. Can't really do that with this felt sort of coating. It is reasonably grabby, so I'm hoping the adhesive sticks pretty well. It's also just showing its age a little bit and cracking. Maybe one day I'll replace this, but for now, we're just gonna retrim it and keep it on a reasonable budget. Now I've bought their charcoal gray, dark gray color. The black was really black and plasticky looking, and it looked kind of fake. It didn't really look like actual black Alcantara. So I've gone with this just shade above, dark gray, and I think I picked pretty well. I did consider the beige for the car, but the problem was it wasn't really the right color to match, so it would have looked off. And I am planning on retrimming my headliner in black eventually anyway, so I just thought, let's think ahead and go for this one. This thing's ready to go. I guess just try and stick it on. Just a little bit worried about this. Let me show you up close. I was hoping the creases from the paper would go away when the paper is removed. It looks like they've stayed on the back here. I don't know how it's going to look through the front. Not giving me lots of hope for the rest of the sheet, but we'll just see how this one goes. Loosely. I don't want to stretch or pull this stuff too tight because I think it'll contract over time and then give me more problems. Okay, I'm going to trim this excess here, wrap around the edge, try and get it nice and snug over this lip. Still think we're going to need some extra tape to get that tight corner sorted. Gonna use a little bit of this 3M micro pour tape just to try and hold down the edges. Last step, just got to cut out a little provision for the screw hole and the airbag trim cover. Depending on what you like, you might brush this all smooth, like that. Personally, I actually prefer the look of it with some pattern on it, and it helps hide this crack in the plastic. This isn't the material's fault at all, that's just the car underneath. Let's do the rest. Righto. I had these on before to try and prevent the sagging, but yeah, you can tell didn't really do a lot. Nope. There you go. I think once I fix this corner up, this couple edges, that will look pretty decent. This floral rubbish here, I will redo at some point, not right now. Probably with this actually, if it turns out to be good. But yeah, I did this just for fun back when the car was much more of a budget build and I wasn't planning on keeping it that long. But that has changed now, so this will as well. Finger tight for this. No need for anything more than that. This thing, I'm tempted to paint. I know I can buy them in black, but if I'm going to anyway, I may as well try painting it first. If it works, I can save a bit of money, and if it doesn't, I haven't really lost anything. So let's try and paint this.
Painting those few bits of plastic trim looked like it was going to work well, so while that was drying, I got on with wrapping the final interior panel with just enough material left to finish the job.
Well, you can probably tell by this point in the video, I've had an overall really positive experience with this Alcantara wrap. All the wrinkles and creases from shipping are gone now, and the smell is also gone. So we're just left with the positives, which are really easy to work with. It has a really nice soft feel to it, unlike some other faux suede materials that feel a bit plasticky and almost like there's still chemicals embedded in the fibers. If you've felt a sheet of bad quality stuff, you'll know what I mean. The color selection's great. I think I picked the right one. I think there was about 15 off the top of my head. And the adhesive seems like it's gonna bond pretty well, touch wood. I'm gonna leave an update in about 6 months time in the description, as well as 1 year. We're just heading into winter in Australia, so it's gonna be a while until this car has some heat on it, which is what usually makes these things give way. But I will update when the time comes, 6 months and 1 year. I still stand by what I said in the beginning about the price. Luckily, it didn't let me down in terms of those things I was initially worried about. I still think it's a little bit steep, 110 bucks for what I got. If it was more like 79, 89 even, I think that'll be pretty bang on the money. So keep an eye out and see what competitors come in and what kind of pricing they offer in terms of if Alcantara will drop their pricing. Because at the moment, I think you're paying mainly for exclusivity. Anyway, that's about all I have to say. I'm gonna wrap it up here. 100%, this is something I would use again, maybe even on this car in other areas where it might need a touch up in future and future projects as well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Cheers.